All right, we are live, I think. Stream quality looks okay on OBS. We're up and running on Twitter. On YouTube. Let me make sure we are live here. And it looks like we are. Oh, we got an ad. Gotta get through the ad first. And then we will go. We've chat up on my phone. I think that's the plan. Skip that. Yep, audio is working. Live chat. Cool. We've chat up on my telephone so I can see what's going on. And we're in. This is my first live stream in a long time. I think, let me turn the audio down there. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Mark, I gotcha. How are you? Welcome to the stream. This is, I think, my first live stream in a year, or thereabouts. I did Out of the Park Baseball 24. I streamed most of what I did for Out of the Park 24 and 23, for that matter, was over on General Manager Games, and that was typically on Twitch. I think when I pulled up this live stream, it gave me good in San Diego. Well, good to hear it. Good to hear it. Yeah, the title, it prompted me for my last live stream title, and it was April of last year. So it's been a while since I've done a live stream, so just bear with me here as I work out the kinks. And if you see me looking to my left, it's because I've got my laptop here and then I've got my monitor to the left of it. So I think that's ultimately why I ended up shutting my camera off, because I used to do these streams camera on, and then I started shutting them off because I was never looking at the camera. I was always looking to the left. So yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to go for tonight. Well, we'll see. We'll see how long people hang around. But I've got my favorite Blue Moon non-alcoholic Belgian White, not sponsored. I love my NA. I am actually, speaking of that, I'm 10 years sober in 2 days. April 23rd of 2014 was the first day I stopped drinking. So I'll be at my 10-year anniversary, if you will, in a couple of days. Giants fan in San Diego. That's got to be tough. That's got to be tough, especially with the Padres the way they are now. It feels like you get a lot of bandwagon-y type fans now that they're a decent team. So it's got to be tough. It's got to be tough. But all right, so let's jump in. Thank you. Yeah, it's funny. You know, people talk about, everyone's got a vice, right? I mean, whether it's alcohol or drugs or gambling or video games or whatever it is. And there are a lot of people that are, ashamed of their vices and the things that keep them from, I don't know, being happy. And I've never been ashamed of it. I've never shied away from it. It's a part of me. And frankly, I'm proud of the fact that I was able to beat it. So I appreciate that. Thank you. That's very true. You can be a Giants fan in LA. That's very, very true. All right. So we are a couple days away from opening day. So before we jump into the season, let's take a look at at just an off-season review, because I posted a couple of videos Thursday and Friday because I wanted people who wanted to be in the stream to be able to get caught up. But just in case there are people in the stream here tonight who didn't get a chance to watch those videos, I'm taking my shoes off. And you'll be actually with me on camera here. You'll get to see all those noises you hear on my stream, my squeaky chair and everything else. You actually get to see all that stuff now. So, yeah. So take a look back at the off season and kind of a review of what we did. So we look a little different. You know, I'm a tinkerer, as you guys have no doubt seen. Made a couple of changes to our lineup as in a continuing search for consistent offensive talent. We picked up Tristan Cassius in the offseason from the Red Sox. 12 right here. It was a fairly substantial deal. We sent Emmett Sheehan. They have him listed as a starter. We used him as bullpen arm in the last 2 years. And Iso Nishimura, who was our international guy that we picked up a couple of years ago. Those were the two big pieces. Everybody else was just sort of filler. Gibby, Purify, and Bonham. Just three players that they wanted. We get Cassius in return. He and Shawnuel are basically the same player. They're both lefties with above average power and really, really good batting eye. But my hope is that my lefties in the middle of the order, he and Shawnuel, can get on base. And then my righties, my Royce Lewis's, my Rafaela's, players like that can actually drive him in. We'll see how it goes, I guess. Actually, hang on a second. I want to go into Discord and just make the note that we are live. I should have done this ahead of time. See, these are the things I forget to do, given that I don't. Oh, it's FJ. What's up, brother? How are you, man? Good to see you. All right. So we're in. So we picked up Tristan Cassius for some pitchers, used our pitching depth to add to our lineup. I would give my right arm for a true right-handed power hitter that is young. We just traded Vlad this past offseason to get out from underneath that contract so that we could bring back Royce Lewis. And Lewis is obviously a huge part of the team, but not really a power hitter per se. We signed Shane Baz to a 3-year, $10 million a year contract, player option in that final season. The numbers, he hasn't pitched particularly well, but the ratings suggest that that he should be a pretty darn good pitcher. He's got 4+ pitches, good stuff. Average movement, good control. I'm not really concerned as much about the movement in San Francisco. Seattle and the Rockies are scoreless through time. I'm assuming they're playing in Seattle, FJ, not Colorado. We signed Arturo Cisneros, 25-year-old. He's a side armor, so he's not going to be, he's going to struggle against righties. If you look at his ratings, he's really good, or against lefties, rather. He's really good against righties. He's average against lefties, but he still has some room to grow here. And the contract is just, it's ridiculous. It's $1.8 million for 4 years. So even if he turns into, just a specialist righty, for 1.8, it's fine. So that'll likely be our rotation. Harrison Yamamoto, who was our guy last year that we picked up before the season. Noah Schultz, Shane Baz, Arturo Cisneros, and then Hurt will probably be in the bullpen. It's in Coors, and it's scoreless in the 10th. Wow. That's Matt Brash must be pitching. That's the only conclusion I can make. The only other changes offensively, we brought back Dylan Carlson. Spent last year with Miami. We needed an outfielder that wasn't going to cost us an arm and a leg. He's really good defensively. Contract, 3 years, $21 million, not unreasonable. 10 scoreless in Coors. I wonder how many times. Honestly, I wonder how many times that's happened since 93. It's got to be on one hand, right? You would think. We signed a bunch of these players to 3-year contracts because my hope is 2 to 3 years from now is when some of our prospects will actually start to be breaking through. Players like Shamel Burgess, our second round pick in 2027, is going to start this year in Double A. I mean, he's not really close to ready, but I don't want to rush him, but he's been really good at every stop. So, we keep pumping him up until he can't deal with it. Luis Bolivar, left-handed hitting outfielder, really, really good. I think I might try to get him some play in center field this year. In fact, let's do that. Let's force him in center. Let's get him some playing time in center field. Juan Maldonado, Phil Furness, both starters that we're waiting on. Jaden Stroman has finally taken a leap here. He's only a 45 potential, but really good defensively. That bat looks pretty good. Switch hitter. Will help us at second base for sure. Right now, our second baseman is Carlos Jorge. Good bat, not great with the glove. So Stroman will be a nice addition in a couple of years as well. Aaron Bede. And again, if you see, I've got my monitor here. My laptop is here. So if me not looking at the camera is distracting, let me know. I'll unplug my monitor and I'll just play the game looking at the laptop. So just let me know. Aaron Bede, we're gonna need a new catcher because right now our catching situation is challenging. We're probably going to run this season with O'Neill Perez and Adonis Guzman, but we are going to need another catcher, and Aaron Bede's probably that guy. He's not quite there yet. He's not hitting particularly well, but good defensively, captain, high work ethic, blah, 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 blah. In high A ball, we got Cuevas. We drafted him in the first round. It's just a Red Sox pullover, FJ. But I am wearing, this is a Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball hat. So pulling out my best what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank? Out of the Park baseball. He wears all the different hats. I mean, literally, I follow him on Twitter, and I had a conversation with him 2 days ago. This is what happens when you get old. Your memory starts to go. But anyway, Frank Cuevas. Drafted him as a comp pick last season. Power, third baseman, good glove. I'm hoping that he has a bump this season. TJ Lauerman. My God, thank you. Yes, TJ's always rocking the different hats on his stream, so I got my Lincoln Salt Dogs hat on today. And then that's a Ted Williams jersey that I got at the Hall of Fame when I was 18 years old, and my wife washed it, and because it's made out of wool, it now fits a toddler, and it no longer fits me, so it hangs up on my wall. And then it's a Kevin Garnett jersey, and then I got my Chicago Dogs banner. Ismael Contreras, another third base prospect, not quite as good. So we got a couple of third base prospects in high A ball, Stroman in Double A. We've Bolivar. We've got some pitching prospects, and then from there, we've got some talent in the lower levels. But who really knows? Like Mike Harrington could be an absolute stud because he's a legit 2-way player. So we'll see what we get there. But he is only 19. A lot of these players were drafted last year, so we'll see what happens with their ratings and whatnot. But, yeah, we still got a ways to go with some of our prospects. So I think salaries. Let's take a look at salaries real quick. It's rough. It's a challenge. We have a $215 million payroll right now. Jumps up to $237.9 next year potentially. My assumption is Nolan Jones opts out of his contract. If that happens, that saves us $18 million, but then gives us a hole at third base. We've got some. Yeah, I know, FJ. Me too. I'm the same way, but in Out of the Park 25, you almost have to. There aren't nearly as many computer-generated 20 and 21-year-olds in the draft as there were in 24. So you almost have to. You almost have to just, I mean, and I'm, I've got $24 million right now in development. That number was at 40, but our owner dropped it. So we got to have a successful season here because we're starting to lose some money in scouting and development. That's a problem. And that's also part of this. Like, I want to be able to put money into scouting and development, but I need to stay competitive. So, that may mean next season that we move on from Kyle Hurt. If he's asking for $5 million, maybe we can get 80% of Kyle Hurt for $2 million. And I mean, we're going to have to make some decisions here. We have a pretty loaded rotation. There might be a place, Noah Schultz, his contract. I mean, his ARB number next year is $11 million. I don't know that I, want to pay that or that I even can really. So we'll just sort of have to see how it goes, but I'm going to cut the roster down. So we're at 39, 17 pitchers. We got to get down to 13. So Kellner, Duran, they can both go down. Aaron Ashby, the minor league free agent. Is he not going to have any options? Is he? Oh, he does. Okay. So 14, we got to send one more to the minors. It's probably Waldrop. He's an extreme ground ball. Or is it Christian Little? Little wasn't particularly good in Sacramento. If you're generous with your player development, you have a well overset. Yeah. I mean, me too. And I think part of that is because I've got, when you go with the Toolsy Scout, right? When you go with the highly favored Tools Scout, and I mean, we got a good one, obviously, but when we go with the highly favored Tools Scout, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a lot of those 18-year-olds that look like studs that just don't work out. I've thought about switching up my scouting and maybe going to somebody a little more neutral, but I'm, stuck in my ways. Waldrop is an extreme ground ball guy. I think we'll go with Waldrop and we'll send Little down. Is that the right move? Or do we just send to breakdown? 4+. Now we need to break in case. I mean, he could potentially. Well, I think Little can be a starter too, right? What's Little's? Yeah, I mean, he's got 50 stamina as well. I mean, they're really the same pitcher, right? 65, 55, 35. Little stuff is a little better, but Waldrop is the ground ball guy. You've gone neutral with your White Sox save, but you're still. Yeah, first couple of years are rough. I will say that they did a better job speeding that up. So, like, the first 2 years are still bad, but by the time you get to year 3, I think you can usually find a pretty good mix of prospects. I mean, to break was really good last year. Little or Waldrop. I think we'll go Little and we'll stick with. Oh, he's out of options. And well, that helps that. Hartman. Yeah, it'll be Hartman. I don't even have to make the decision. We'll send Hartman down. He'll get the start in AAA. So there is our staff. So obviously we go with Kyle Harrison as our ace. 110 pitches for Kyle. Yamamoto is our number 2. 110 pitches for him. Schultz will be our number 3. 5-man rotation with 100 pitches. Oh, yeah, we'll go with 100 pitches for Schultz. Baz is our number 4. He's probably fine at 110. And then Cisneros as our 5. And we'll keep Cisneros at 100 as well, just in case that side arminess comes back to hurt him a little bit. So that'll be our rotation. What does the AI want to do with our bullpen? Probably wants Hurt as our closer. We can give that a shot. Stone and Hers as our setup men. Campbell, Little, Waldrop as our middle relief, and then to break in Neely. Neely was an off-season acquisition. We got him as part of the Vlad deal, I think. Is that right? Where is... Yeah, right here. So we traded Vlad back to Toronto, along with Gage Jump, who was a Rule 5 guy that we had for a couple of years. Vil Saint, who was really the first prospect that we moved. And then AJ Shepard, and we got back Neely and Waldrop. So we brought back a couple of relievers for Vlad. All right, so we're still at 35, so we got to send 9 batters. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this. At least we can start with this and see how it goes. You have a 34-year-old Tim Hill, 35 rated with a 2.01 ERA plus and 70 innings pitch. So lefty side. Yeah, I mean, you've been watching this, so you kind of know my take on relievers. I just refuse to spend money on them. There's just no reason to. I don't think we are. What is the real difference between a tools and other scout? Well, Chris, a highly favors tools scout is going to find more of those higher ceiling type guys. It's looking at their potential tools and giving you a rating based off of those tools that it has. They tend to flame out more often, but you tend to find the higher ceiling stuff with a tools guy versus an ability guy. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Tools, high ceiling, ability, high floor. Right. Exactly. So you see all these players in my minor league system that are 60 and above, and chances are 3/4 of them probably don't develop, but if they do, they'll turn into monsters. And I just always have preferred the high ceiling scouts, which flies in the face of kind of how I draft, right? Like, I mean, you guys who have watched my drafts over the years know that I tend to lean more into the higher floor type guys, right? Those 21, 22-year-old lefties, and that might have a 55 overall, but aren't going to be elite. That's kind of how I've always drafted. But yeah, I prefer the highly favored tools guys. So 9 batters. All right, so Sawyer Farr is out for 1 to 2 weeks. It's going to tell me to put him on the injured list, so I'll just do that. Kim and Chirinos. Picks in the Discord where it didn't happen. Fair enough. Rustin Rigdon can go down. He'll go to AAA. He's another one of my draftees that he's getting there. I mean, he's never going to hit enough, but he might be a good backup middle infielder. He'll go to AAA. Mullinax. Where does Mullinax start? We picked him up in the offseason too. 4th outfielder type. I think we start him in AA. We'll start him in AA. He's got well, there you go. That's all the difference in the world. I am also seeing that the overalls don't mean quite as much in this version of the game as they have in the past. Hang on just a second, guys. Just got a text message from my wife. She thinks she broke her nose. She was digging a hole in the front yard and she whacked herself in the face. There's always something going on with my family. That's what happens when you got lots of kids. Weird shit happens to everyone. All right. 30. So we still got to get. We used to send 4 more players down. I think you'd rather have a team full of high floor guys than one with high. Yeah, see, Mark, I tend to agree with you, but when you like when I go into the draft and I see someone like Mike Harrington, I say to myself, like, I can't pass this up, right? Like, I can't pass up this type of player. Drafted him 30th overall. No, she didn't break her nose. She's fine. My wife hurts herself walking to the bedroom every day. She was gardening in the front yard and she smacked herself in the face. So if she keeps complaining about it, I may have to go check on her, but I think she'll be all right. I told her to go put some ice on it and she'll be okay. Yeah, it's hard for me, Mark, to pass up players like this, Yeah, sometimes they work out, sometimes they get burned. But yeah, I'm right there with you. So we still got to send, I think, Drew Ellis. I love Drew Ellis. I love this type of player profile. I mean, he wasn't particularly good last year, but I love that player profile. Can he go to AAA? Oh, he can. Perfect. Josa was a guy that we picked up. He's a minor league free agent. An MLB team of high floor guys. Yes, an organization of high ceiling. You can get high floor guys in free agency. Yeah, that's fair too. Nope. That's fair too. You can sign a lot of those, not fringy type players, but players who can fill a role in free agency. Jacob Gonzalez, he can probably go down too. He's out of options because we've got Sanford now backing up on the infield. But Gonzalez, those are good numbers. No, FJ, I got nothing. I got like $1.5 million. I'm up to 5.5 now. I don't know where that came from. Oh, it must have been me sending players to the minor leagues. So I got about $6 million. I like Gonzalez, but I like Sanford more. He's so good defensively. And he was really good in a small sample size last year. Figueroa, we picked him up last season in a trade with Texas. He had 20 home runs a year ago. I mean, he's weird. He's a lefty, and he can't hit righties. Like, this is a bizarre batting profile. It really is. But it works. All right, so I think we DFA. We'll try to trade him first. That's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah, Benny has struggled this year for sure. Well, everybody on the White Sox has struggled this year. Anybody here I want? Nope. All right, well, I guess we just DFA him and see if we can sneak him through. And I think we still have to send 2 players down. Yeah. I am at 13 pitchers, right? I am at 13 pitchers. Braylon Morel, we picked him up at the same time. What trade was that? Oh, Enrique Bradfield, right. The Bradfield experiment didn't work at all. So we traded Bradfield and Cody Funderburk to the Rangers for Figueroa and Morel. I think Morel can start in AAA. And then we got to send one more player down. Sorry, I'm checking with my wife, seeing if she needs me to come in. If I do, I'll pause and you guys can sit here and stare at my team for 5 minutes while I go in. But let me see. You've been struggling to manage to offload players who aren't superstars, like a decent 3-4 starter. Yeah, trading is hard. I mean, it's one of the things I like about it, right? I mean, it's one of the things I enjoy about the game is that that the trading is difficult. And just for those of you who Want to see how I have everything set up? There you go. So I've got trading difficulty on the hardest level, and then I've got trading preference right smack dab in the middle. And then I've got my player evaluation settings at 40, 30, 25, and 5. Rather than what does it default? It defaults to like 60, 25, 15, and 5 or something like that, which I don't know. I like using 7. I like having 70% of this here, looking at their ratings and their current year stats. But that's how I've got that set. So we can send one more player down, right? Yeah. I mean, Figueroa is the better bat. So I think we'll send, Hinojosa is the better bat. So I think we'll send, he's out of options. So I guess that means we'll start with Hinojosa in the minor leagues. And it's time to set the lineups. All right. So we're obviously really left-handed heavy with Cassius, Shawnuel, Nolan Jones as our 3 big power bats. I mean, Jorge he's another one. He's a lefty who's better against lefties than he is righties. You enjoy the difficulty, but it seems a bit silly. And when I want to trade a player from the block, let's say a third baseman from the Rockies or the Pirates, I wish there was a way where, teams that were out of it. Yeah, right. That makes sense. I get that. That makes a lot of sense. I don't find trading to be unrealistic kind of as a whole, but when you're trying to trade for a team that's out of it, you should be there should be something in there coded that says, all right, they're not going to make the playoffs, so they want prospects they're willing to move veterans or whatever. All right, so I guess our leadoff hitter, who's our leadoff hitter against righties? It's neither of those. I guess it's got to be Jorge. Carlos Jorge, and again, he'll start at second. He's a really bad second baseman, so we'll make sure to get Sanford in there as a defensive sub. Our number 2, go Rafaela in the 2-hole. Yeah, that's a good point. Nope. I mean, just because a team's out of it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to trade all their players. Or do we go Gutierrez? Hey, Breeze, how are you? Craig Breslow. He's doing a good job. He's doing a good job with the team this year. They sent out a AAA lineup today. They pitched somebody who was in Indie Ball 2 years ago, and they still managed to sweep Pittsburgh. Now, I know Pittsburgh's terrible, but you can only beat who's in front of you. I think we'll go Rafaela second because I'd rather have Royce Lewis in an RBI type role. So Shawnuel will bat third. Who's the better first baseman? Shawnuel. Neither of them are particularly good. Shawnuel is going to be the DH. I'm doing all right. Cassius will bat fourth. And I think we go Lewis and then Jones. Yeah. Lewis and then Jones. So we need left, center, and catcher. So that'll be Carlson, Gutierrez, and O'Neill Perez, I guess. Carlson against righties. Yes, we'll go Gutierrez, Carlson, and then Perez at catcher batting ninth. Let's see what the AI wants to do here. Wants Lewis starting every third game at second. Hopefully that plugs Sanford in at short. Winkowski pitched well. Pitched 3 innings, give up 1 run. I'll take that in a spot start. I will take that in a spot start any day. Welcome to those of you who are joining. I just saw that our chat numbers or our viewer numbers just jumped up to 14 or something. So welcome. We are eventually going to get to playing the games here, but I get a little sidetracked. Pitched 3 1/3 or something, yeah. But he's a bullpen guy, but he hasn't been starting, so I will take it. No, I took him out early. All right. So against lefties, Jorge is better against lefties than he is righties, so we leave him in the leadoff spot. Shawnuel against lefties, still pretty good numbers. Cassius against lefties, I think, has good numbers. He does, but I think judging players by hit and not exit, velo, and launch angle. Yeah, I don't think that those exist in this, do they? I have never even looked at it. And you can see I turned off BABIP just because I got tired of looking at it. I could not get used to having BABIP on this screen. Just 17 years of looking at the screen one way has made it difficult for me to change. So I took BABIP off. All right. I don't think we change our lineup at all because Carlson's better against lefties than he is righties, so we're not going to take him out. Gutierrez is better against lefties than he is against righties, so we're not going to take him out. Blyce probably gets some additional playing time against lefties. Just so he can get some actual PT out there. Again, Figueroa is actually better against lefties than he is righties, so I don't have any problem playing him, a couple times a week against lefties. I got him out there as righties, too. There's a hit chart that shows where balls land. Yeah, I've seen that, yeah. But we haven't played any games yet, so I don't have any of that data yet. All right, so I guess we'll stick with this. No, I don't want... Sanford's ratings are basically the same against lefties and righties. Let's get him in there at second every 4th game or something. I don't know. It's fine. All right, so now we just got to get up to opening day. We'll go into the game and we'll let the AI do its thing. All right. Better than 500 ball. I sure hope so. We don't have a top 10 prospect. Where is our minor league system? 18th. We got Flores and Harrington in the top 100. Flores could be a stud, but again, who really knows? I mean, he's 17 years old. You judge your hitters who aren't catchers, shortstops, and center fielders on how high their OPS and weighted runs created plus is. I'm old school. I look at their numbers. I mean, you guys know, you've watched me do this. I mean, I look at OPS plus. I look at OPS. I look at, for center fielders and shortstops, I look at their defense. Yeah, Cash is going to be out for a while. They don't know what's wrong with him. They're saying strained rib or something. He said today he was in a lot of pain. So I don't know. We will see. They'll just keep going out there against. Look at that. We got money for extensions now. Do I want to just take that money and put it into scouting and development? I mean, it's only. I mean, if we bump this to 15, and then bump this to 27. Yeah, I mean, we've got the money. Let's dump it into scouting and development. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think nope. I'm 100% with you. Not only move BABIP to the bottom, but because if you have with BABIP on, where is it? Is it here? Oh, where is it? I can't remember. Where is it? Here, somewhere, right? Nope. League settings. Ghost players. I've looked at this screen 4 times now. Options? No. Where is it? Players? No. Here it is. Show Babbitt. So, what throws me about it is that it not only it throws BABIP in the middle, it also takes avoid Ks from the bottom and moves it to the top. So, like, when I first look at this, my gut reaction is down here is avoid K. This is batting eye. This is power. This is gap power, and then you got contact up here. So it completely throws my eyes out of whack. If these two things, if avoid K was here, then BABIP was underneath it. I think we all understand at this point that BABIP is a function of contact. So just move it down here underneath avoid K, and it'll be fine. And I don't think anybody would complain about that. But with it where it is, I just can't do it. It's just too hard for me to keep an eye on. So. Let's get waivers real quick. A lot of players on waivers. Wow. Meh. Nothing of note, really. About pitchers. Not that we need more pitching, but who knows? Maybe there's a young player. Nope, there's a 41-year-old Jacob deGrom. Nope. All right. Time to play our opening day game at Pittsburgh. It's a beautiful ballpark. I don't know if you guys have ever been, if anybody's ever been to PNC, or it's not PNC Park. What is it called? I can't even think of what it's called. Red Sox were just there this weekend, but it's a beautiful park. I went there about 10 years ago. I used to go to the Frozen Four every year, the college hockey championships. And one year it was in Pittsburgh. So we caught a baseball game in April before the games, and just a gorgeous park. All right, so we got Jorge, Rafaela, Shawnuel, Cassius, Lewis, Jones, Gutierrez, Carlson, Perez, and Kyle Harrison on the mound. They've got O'Neill, Cruz, Jason Chorio, Heishichi Yano, Lonnie White Jr., Tamar Johnson. No, it's not PNC anymore. I can't think of the name of it. But at any rate, it's a gorgeous ballpark. Yeah, it's a beautiful ballpark. It's a shame they don't play good baseball there. Henry Davis, who's a stud. Brian Reynolds and Lover Peguero. Eduardo Quintero is their left fielder. Anthony Solometo is their starter. All right, well, let's get to it. And I think I've got audio off, so we're going to go sans audio here. All right, so Solamento against Jorge. So it is a lefty versus lefty matchup. Oh, it is still called PNC? I didn't know that. And I guess I should have known that, but I didn't. No, I've never been to Three Rivers. I don't go to football games. Screw that. Football, I would, my father-in-law has Bears season tickets, and I won't go. Trying to go to Soldier Field is just, no thank you. No, thank you. All right, so we get a leadoff single and then a 4-6 put out. So Shawnuel. 2 outs. And Cassius grounds out. Yeah, except it was an 11-year-old kid, and everybody was like super happy for him, and like he got interviewed and stuff. So a little bit different than Bartman when it's an 11-year-old kid. But it was literally like the same spot on the field. It's funny. Hines is probably 20 years old. I mean, when did the Batman movie come out with Bane? Because that took place at, remember the scene at the beginning where Hines Ward is running with the football and then a big hole opens up in the ground. That took place at Heinz Field. So Harrison sends him down 1-2-3. Ground out from Lewis. 2012. Yeah. Okay. So so that would have been 12 years. I mean, it's probably 15, 20 years old, I would assume, somewhere in there, right? Dark Knight Rises. Yeah. So it had to have been somewhere around there, 2008, 2010, something like that. All right, we got 2 on, 1 out for Dylan Carlson making his return to San Francisco, and he strikes out. Now it's Perez. He draws a walk. Bases are loaded for Carlos Jorge. And he's going to ground out to first. Yeah, Mark, I mean, I agree. I try not to give people too hard a time because I don't know how I would react if I was sitting that close and a ball was hit to me. So, it's easy to sit here and say, you got to get out of the way. You gotta let the home team make the play. But I don't know that I would be able to do that if I saw a ball coming right at me. So I certainly don't want to give anybody a hard time about it because I don't know. Again, I don't know how I would react. Do I name my bat? No, because I don't change them. I look at well, you can't see it here, but I just look at the regular stat lines. Throw down to first. Ball 4. Harrison walks Davis. He's got Piguero now. 1-2 on him. And it's going to be a base hit. They're going to score a run. And they are. We're losing. Of course we are. There's a bloop to left. Catch is made. But yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. So I got a foul ball story for you guys. So back in 1993, either 93 or 94, you spend like 30 minutes each. I can't do that. Whatever. I can't be bothered. I'm a casual when it comes to setting up my screens and stuff. Anyway, back in 1993, it's either 93 or 94. I can't remember the season. I'd have to look it up. But as Rafaela bangs an extra base hit to right center field, I went to a Red Sox game, and they were playing the Seattle Mariners. I went with my girlfriend at the time, and I went with my cousin who was from Seattle. She was in town, and Red Sox were playing the Mariners, so we went to a game. And I got up to go to the bathroom, and when I came back, my girlfriend and my cousin were both looking like at each other and looking at me and making faces and stuff. And it turns out while I was gone that an 18-year-old Alex Rodriguez had hit a foul ball that landed in my seat, and they didn't attempt to get it. And a couple, ad break. Sorry. Okay. I'll tell the story again. When the ad ends. So I apologize for that. I don't know how long they are, so I apologize. But that landed in a couple of rows behind me, and I could have had an Alex Rodriguez baseball when he was 18, and I didn't. And it turns a double play. Let me know so the ad just comes up on my computer now, on my phone too. Interesting. Skip it. Is the ad done? Are we ad free? Are you guys back with me? It wasn't even a homer. It was a foul ball. But it would have been nice to have it. It would have been nice to get it when he was 18 years old. That's an E4. That's what Jorge does. Oh, it's a single. Interesting. Okay. Ads are over. Good. All right. Well, Harrison's getting beat up here a little bit. Gave up a run in the second. He's given up a run here in the third. I look at batting eye and avoid Ks. Those are the two things I look at. That's another run. So Harrison's now given up 3 runs in 2 2/3 innings. 1-2. Yeah, I mean, now FJ, that's I wouldn't want anything that was A-Rod related. But when he was 18 years old, he was the next great thing, and nobody knew what he was going to turn into or what he was going to do. So at the time, that would have been pretty cool. There's a leadoff single, leadoff double. Dylan Carlson now. Ball to third. So if a high I and avoid K batter was cold, you'd still put him as the. Yeah, I mean, they always say batting eyes don't slump. If someone's got a good batting eye, they got a good batting eye. And they may not. If they could go 0 for 10, but if they draw 4 walks in those 14 plate appearances, they're helping you. So, obviously it depends how bad the cold streak is, but generally speaking, yeah, that's what I look at. All right, runners at the corners, top of the order. Jorge to center. It should be deep enough to score Rafaela. It's not Rafaela. Who is it? It's Gutierrez. All right, so we have Rafaela up now with Perez at first. We're down by a run. Take your best. Yeah, FJ, I'll screw around with it. 'Cause, my best on base guys are Shanuel and Cassius, and I'm not going to bat either of them lead off. So what's the next best situation? Is it Nolan Jones, who's probably the next best option? But I'm not going to. I want those guys in RBI situations, so I bat them further down in the lineup. All right, let's go, Kyle. Hasn't been a great start. I can't help you if you can't hit a strike. Yeah, that's true. But that's why I look for avoid K. An E3? E1. Okay. Now, this has been a clunky opening day. We turn 2? We do. All right. Is it? That's very 1980s of you, FJ, right? With the idea of, you need speed at the top of your lineup. Speed is helpful, but, Kyle Schwarber, how many times he lead off for Philadelphia over the last, year plus? Cassius. All right, so back-to-back singles from Shanuel and Cassius. And they both move up on the throw. So 2 in scoring position, nobody out for Royce Lewis, which is exactly what I wanted. They bring the infield in. Lewis strikes out. Nolan Jones now draws a walk, so the bases are loaded for Gutierrez. Is he going to strike out? He is not, but that's not going to be near deep enough, I think, to score the run. Are we not going to score with the bases loaded and 1 out? Nope, because he's going to strike out. Oh, come on, you're killing me. Bases loaded, 1 out. We can't get a run home. You feel like avoid K just leads to more double? I don't know. Honestly, I've never really looked at that. Never really looked at, does somebody who have a lot of, does somebody that has a high avoid K, does he hit into a lot of double plays? I guess that is where speed comes into play, right? If you're a high speed guy with a high avoid K, you're not going to hit into a lot of double plays. All right, so back-to-back shutout innings from Harrison. We're still down by a run. They bring in another lefty. That'll be a single or a double. Be a double for O'Neill Perez. Back up to the top of the order. And Jorge now. There we go. RBI double. Game's tied. Cedane Rafaela goes to the right side. That's perfect. Runner at third now with 1 out for Shanuel. They bring the infield in. Shanuel with a base hit to right. Okay, good. So we retake the lead. Yeah, my favorite profile My favorite batting profile is obviously, you want everything to be as high as possible, but for sort of the imperfect player, I love a batter with average to below average contact, high gap power, high power, high batting eye, and then average to below average avoid K. So it's got like that, like the three in the middle stick out further than the one on the top and the bottom. That's my favorite batting profile. That's very true. You don't win a lot. That's a very good point. Typically take your top 3 OPS guys, and then 2 is the best. So you believe in that, put your best hitter in the second spot. At the top of my order, I don't know. I mean, I guess if my leadoff hitter was a righty, let's say we had a righty guy with good on base skills, I'm probably batting Shawnuel or Cassius second, and then putting Royce Lewis third. But we're a little lopsided. I don't have a really good, maybe against lefties. Maybe the option is against lefties to bat Dylan Carlson leadoff, and then we can put Shawnuel in the 2-hole, Royce Lewis in the 3-hole, Cassius in the 4-hole. That might be something to look at. All right, so we got Vespi here against Cassius with Shawnuel at first. Did you, FJ? Post that again. I'd like to look at that. How do I determine the rotation order? I look at their ratings. I mean, my best pitcher by far is Kyle Harrison, so he's my number 1. Cassius strikes out. Lewis to short. All right, so we retake the lead. Harrison, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks. He's at 78 pitches. This is probably his last inning. Monty White to right, and he made the catch in the corner, I guess. Ceddanne Raffaella. Now Tamar Johnson. I just saw the notification, FJ. Thank you. I'll take a look once we're done. 1-0 pitch on Davis is pop up on the infield. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you. I got to remember that you're a little bit behind me here. Or, yeah, you guys are a little bit behind me here. So it popped up on my phone, and then you said tagged you in it. All right, Jones against Vespi. And it's fly out to center. Gutierrez rounds it in front of the plate. 2 away. And the 1-1 on Carlson. Dylan to left. That'll get down for a hit. 2-out single. Packy Naughton. That's such a good name, right? Packy Naughton. It's a fantastic name. Against O'Neill Perez, and Perez grounds out to short. Are they going to bring Harrison back out? They are. Harrison's coming back out for the 7th. Facing Brian Reynolds and strikes him out. Piguero counts 3-1. They brought in DJ Hers now. Ground ball to the shortstop. Quintero's hit by the pitch. Walks Chris. Don't do this. Yeah. This is what happened to Kyle Harrison last year. I think Harrison won 8 games last year or something. 8 games? 9 games? It was 8-8. He was 8-8 a year ago. All right, Yano rounds it to second, and we are tied again, going to the 8th. Jorge leads off. Strikes out. Raffaella. No, not a base hit. Diving stop. Shawnuel. right, so we got Hers back out there against White, Johnson, and Davis. That feels dangerous. Strikes out White. Walks Johnson. Bring in Gavin Stone now to pitch to Henry Davis. And O'Neill Perez throws out his second base runner of the game. So we're going to the 9th inning, tied at 4. And we got Cassius, Lewis, and Jones against Mackenzie Gore. Cassius draws a leadoff walk. Lewis to right. And another unbelievable defense by Pittsburgh here tonight. Jones strikes out. Gutierrez strikes out. We're going to get walked off on opening day. More than likely. Ground ball to the first baseman. 3-1 put out. Aguero, 2-2 pitch. Okay, so Stone pitches well. That ball is dropped by the third baseman. Of course it was. Walk-off home run right here. Nope, another pop-up. All right. Carlson, Perez, Jorge against Mackenzie Gore. Oh, right, runner on second. It's like, why are they intentionally walking him to lead off the inning? All right, we have a runner at second. Now O'Neill Perez. Hey, sometimes you can feel the walk-off coming. You ain't wrong. Hey, ball gets away. We're going to walk him. Oh, Perez is going to pick up a base hit to left. Excellent. O'Neill getting the job done. Bases are loaded. Nobody out. Top of the order. Carlos Jorge. That'll clear him. Man, Carlos Jorge was such a huge pickup for us. He was a waiver wire guy last season. He and Gutierrez were both waiver wire pickups at the beginning of last season. And they're both in my starting lineup right now. Rafaela now. Strikes out. Shanuel. Should score the run. Yep. All right, so 3 here in the 10th. Can we pick up Jorge from third? Or from second, rather? Nope. All right, so we pick up 3 in the top of the 10th. Who do they send out in the bottom of the 10th? Kyle Hurt against O'Neill Cruz, and he walks him. Here we go. Oh, an E9. There's 1 run. Tying runs at third, or at second, rather. That'll be an out. The run will score. Is my voice similar to... Is it really? I always thought I had a very nasally voice. I always hated my voice. But Lonnie White to third. I always hated my voice until I really started with the broadcasting. Tamar Johnson. And we're going to the 11th. Until I started with the broadcasting, then I just stopped worrying about it. All right. Well, okay. So we make an error. We give up 3 runs. All right. Well, if that's a good thing, I appreciate it. If you hate Rich Eisen's voice, well, screw you then. I don't know. It's fine. So Figueroa with Cassius at second. He's getting his first chance to hit. And he hits 2-run homer. Well, that'll work. Our first home run of the year is a 460-foot bomb by Glider Figueroa. Figaro? I think we're going to go Figaro, Glider Figaro. Well, this has been a wild opening day. Nolan Jones now. And he homers. We go back to back. Same spot, 444 feet. Gutierrez now. Who's going to play short? They pinch hit for Royce Lewis. I mean, we end up, and then he hits a batter. Toss him. Toss him. I wonder who's going to play shortstop for us. They pinch hit for Royce Lewis. Carlson to left. All right, well, offense is picking it up in extra innings. Runners coming in from third. That's an RBI double. Yeah, I saw that too, FJ. Yep, I saw that. They were talking about, I think they were talking about Soler, right? Jorge Soler, and how he's likely to be, or potentially going to be, their first 30 home run guy since then. Runs to short. Top of the order. Caught. Moving to third is the runner. We got a runner at third, 2 outs for Rafaela. Be nice to pick him up. Nope. All right, so it's a 4-run 11th. It'd be nice if we can end the game here. Hurston Waldrop in. He'll face Brian Reynolds. Ground ball to second. Okay, it's not a home run. Thought I was going to leave the park. A double? It's going to be a triple for Peguero. Quintero now. Strikes out. And the top of the order, O'Neal Cruz. And we outlast Pittsburgh on opening day by the final score of 11-8. Carlos Jorge, 3 for 6 with 4 runs knocked in. We had Sanford. Everybody in the lineup had at least 1 hit. Jones had 2. Gutierrez, bottom of our 6, 7, 8, 9 was really good. Pitching staff not great. Harrison wasn't bad. I mean, 3 runs and 6 1/3. Stone pitched well. Yes, they did, Breeze. They absolutely did. O'Neal Cruz walked 4 times. All right, well, we win on opening day. A win's a win. And we get an achievement. All right, well, let's get into the schedule. And you had a playoff game where your starter gave up an inside-the-park home run on a 470-foot blast back-to-back. You quick-simmed and lost 9-1. I've done that, where you're just like, all right, you know what? Screw it. Like, it's pretty clear that this game isn't going my way. So let's just move on. All right, game 2 against Pittsburgh. Look at all the runs. We've scored 21 runs in 2 games. Yamamoto, Campbell gets smoked. Hurt blows his 2nd straight save opportunity. Shanuel, Cassius, Gutierrez, Figueroa, all homer. So Figueroa's had a pretty nice start to his season. He's 2 for 2 with 2 homers and 5 RBIs. All right, Hurt may not be working out as the closer. It's only been 2 games, but still. All right, game 3, we got Schultz pitching. We lose 8-0. Ugh. Remember to look at your beautiful and correct list. All right, I can pull it up now. Oh, yeah, I remember this. Your best OBP guy with decent base stealings. That's not your main power bat. Your best overall hitter. You want to give this guy as many at-bats as humanly possible. Number 3, your main power bat. He will drive in the 2 guys ahead of him since they will be on base, generally speaking. Your cleanup hitter, a.k.a. your other power bat. Reliable bat between 110, 115 OPS. Number 6, probably a weaker hitter than your first 5, right around the average. Down your order, RBI hitter should ideally have a good batting average. Probably defense position first, whoever is left. I like it. I mean, where do we... How does our lineup match up to that? Rafael is clearly not our best hitter, so maybe it's something like this. I just don't want to go lefty, lefty, lefty. That's my only problem. I don't want to bat 3 lefties in a row, which I guess isn't that big a deal, but I would rather have Nolan Jones in an RBI position. Oh, Carlson's hurt. Excellent. Excellent. Good start, folks. Losing for 3 months. Are you cool? Who do we call up? I don't even know who this guy is. Sergio Mateos. We signed him as a minor league free agent. And he can hit. Can't field, but he can hit. We only have we only have 3 outfielders. I think it's out of the park baseball, FJ. There are just so many outfielders. Has he had a chance to play center? No, they haven't played a game yet. Who do we call up? We need to call up an outfielder. Literally, it's going to be somebody who's going to... This is not a good start to the season for us at all. Do we go... Mullinax? No. I think we'll call up Alec Burleson. And we'll play Burleson against righties. We'll go Burleson against righties, and then against lefties, we'll go Blyce. Stick Blyce in center. Gutierrez in left, where he'll be like probably the best defensive left fielder in the game. Or do we put him in right with that arm? Rafaela's, I think we're going to go Rafaela in left, Gutierrez. And our outfield defense is just absolutely phenomenal. So our last game got rained out. We got a double header today. We win them both. That's nice. 7-run bottom of the 8th inning. That'll play. Okay, so Figueroa is 5 for 6 with 3 homers and 9 RBIs, batting a cool .833 with a 761 OPS plus and a 3.524 OPS. I'll take that. Perez with 3 hits. 3 walks each for Shanuel and Cassius. That's kind of what I was hoping would happen. And then in game 2, Shanuel 3 for 4, 4 RBIs. Rafaela's not really hitting. Why did Harrison only go 4 1/3 innings? Oh, because we had a doubleheader, so he was fatigued. On pace for a calm 20-win season. Yeah, you got that right. 20.1 WAR, on pace for 97 home runs and nearly 300 runs knocked in. We'll take that, right? All right, another game against Las Vegas. It's a 3-0 win, and we lose Sanford now. Come on, man. And we got an ad. So those of you watching the game or watching this after the fact, I don't know if you'll see an ad. But those of you in the stream right now, you are seeing an ad. So we win 3-0, 5 shutout from Yamamoto. That's a nice bounce back effort. Hurt picks up his first save. And I think YouTube Premium. Yeah, I feel bad about it, like, because it gave me the option of like turning ads on or not. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I have the opportunity to make a couple bucks maybe, so I'm going to do it. Like, I don't know. I think that might be a shitty thing on my part, and I apologize for that. I don't know if it's something. Can I shut it off? It's something I can shut off. Insert ad, delay ads. This is the first time I've streamed since I've had the ability to monetize my stuff. I just don't know how it works. Delay. How long? If I click delay, how long can I delay for? It's a 10-minute delay. All right. Well, okay. Well, that doesn't work. All right. So I think we'll go Sawyer Farr. Good speed, good defensively. The bats, meh. And he's eligible to come back tomorrow, so we'll do that. All right. Far will be our backup second baseman and our backup shortstop, and he will be our defensive replacement at second as well. No, I don't want Jorge as a defensive sub at third. Don't be dumb. Same thing over here. Far at second, or short, far at second. And we'll put Burleson in there. I don't want Burleson playing against lefties. I don't really want him playing at all, but does my wife know how much that A-Rod jersey would be? Oh, my Ted Williams jersey? I mean, it's not authentic. It's I bought it at the gift shop at the Hall of Fame when I was 18 years old. I spent like $200 on it. So if it were authentic, like she and I would have had words, like severe words. All right, so Colorado now. They're 1-5. We got Schultz pitching. It's an 8-5 loss. We suffer another injury. You guys are killing me here. Yeah, Schultz hasn't been. No, it's Ted Williams. Back-to-back losses. Not a great start. Not a great start to the year. We do win there. 4-2. Lewis with a home run. Cassius with his third. Gutierrez with a couple of hits. Cisneros pitches well. Hurt's been really bad. He's already blown 3 saves. We're 5-4, and my starting pitcher's already blown 3 saves. Or my starting, my closer's already blown 3 saves. Let's try this. Let's try the arm of Christian Little as our closer. See how he does, I guess. Thinking about Waldrop because of that ground ball tendency, but all right. Philadelphia now. Kyle Harrison pitching. It's a 5-0 win. Harrison gets his first victory of the season. Offense, 13 hits. 2 for Lewis, Shawnuel, Cassius, Rafaela, 3 for Jones. 6 1/3 shutout. Another win. End of the month of March. We'll look at player development in a minute. Jones getting off to a hard start. Yeah, I mean, he's going to opt out, right? I mean, what's his demand? Yeah, 25, 20. I mean, it's not an unreasonable contract. I gotta shut. Why do I have commissioner mode on? Let's shut that off. I mean, it's not an unreasonable. I mean, we can't afford it, but it's not an unreasonable demand at all. He'll opt out. That'll clear up, again, $18.2 million. And then we'll have to figure out a way to try to re-sign him to maybe like a 2 or 3 year contract. Because, again, Cuevas is that guy, right? He's the third baseman of the future. So, all right, development. Anything of note? Yamamoto's potential drops, but his movement improves. He's so good. Oh, he's going to be great. Shawnuel's contact dropped a little bit. It's okay. William Schmidt. We picked him up from Seattle. He looks okay. It's not what I wanted to do, but that's okay. We'll disable his AI promotion. Looks all right. Juan Maldonado continues to get better. Aaron Bede, who we've already looked at. Is my team getting bad regression because your Giants save after the year you won the World's? I wouldn't say bad regression. I mean, we have some players who are getting better. We have some players who are getting worse. My problem is that they're getting – it's all right, I got you. my issue is that my players are getting expensive. That's really the only problem I've run into. My players are getting expensive, and I haven't drafted well enough to fill any of those spots. So, like, we're paying Kyle Harrison $50 million the next 3 seasons. Lewis 25, 27, 26. Yamamoto we signed as an international free agent. Look at those ARB numbers. Sean Noel, a 4-year deal. So, and my problem has been that my drafting hasn't been great. It's getting better. We have some players that are improving and will be making an impact hopefully in the next couple of years. But I haven't seen any real major regression from anybody yet, which is a good thing. I really like this, what we're seeing from Jaden Stroman here. Yeah, I like what we're seeing from Stroman. Zach Wheeler is old and Luis Castillo. Yeah, I mean, it depends how far into your save you are, right? I mean, if we're in 2028, 2029, and you're relying on Zach Wheeler and Luis Castillo, then yeah, I mean, regression is probably not an unreasonable thing to expect. Like Anderson, he was a draft pick last year, right? Yeah, our fourth round pick. He's fragile, high floor guy. All right, well, that's good development. All right, so we're 7-4 getting into April. Hey, we got through 11 games in an hour and 11 minutes. And we lose to Philadelphia to finish the series. The first place Diamondbacks now. Blue Moon non-alcoholic. That's the way to go. Also, your draft prospect potential keeps going down, even though you have $25 million in both scouting and development. I mean, part of that depends on, we were talking about this earlier. What kind of scout do you have? Win 6-4. If you've got a highly favored tools scout, it's entirely possible that he's finding you players that have the tools, but then flame out. Jorge with 3 RBIs. Cisneros pitches okay. ERA sitting at 4 through a couple of starts. We got Harrison going today. Yeah, Schultz has been bad. Yeah, highly favored tools. You're going to get a lot of high ceiling guys that may flame out. So that's something we were talking about earlier, where I may end up changing my scout. Well, it depends on what you want. You know what I mean? A highly favored tools guys is going to give you the high ceiling. Ability is going to give you more of the high floor. So you're not going to find as many studs with a high ability guy, but you're going to find more higher floor type guys. Depends on what you want, I guess. 13-1 over Arizona. Offense, 19 hits in the game. Everybody except Shawnuel had at least 2 hits. Our offense is performing this year. With some of these numbers. I mean, Lewis is the only one Lewis and Rafaela aren't hitting, but really everybody else is performing for us. Harrison's 2-0. I always go highly favored tools, but it depends on what you're looking for. And right now, since it's not working for me, I may end up switching that out. Yamamoto today against Los Angeles. 4-1 victory. Blyce hitting 500 through 20 at-bats. Yamamoto 7 1/3. We changed the tools to see how it works out with the top scout. Yeah, you're gonna find higher ceiling guys, but a lot of them won't develop. You'll get someone who starts out at an 80, and you'll find it a lot in the international complex. You go highly favors tools guys. I got 380 potential guys in my international complex, and I don't expect any of them to actually end up anything close to that. Develop because it's still kind of bad. I mean, it could be. There's in the Discord, in my Discord, we're always sharing pictures of players that we have in our saves and stuff, and And there are some impressive names that are impressive pictures that come through in Discord. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's possible. But the way I look at it, the way I look at any of these like issues that come up in the game is that I'm dealing with them, and so is the AI. So I'm not getting an advantage or a disadvantage. You only have one 80 grade guy in your international development. Yeah, I decided the last couple of years to just go heavy into one guy rather than splitting that money up and getting a couple of 65s or whatever with the hope that one of them will work out. Skip the ad. We win 5-4 in 14 innings. Shawnoel 2 hits. Blyce had 2 RBIs. Schultz pitched his best game of the year. Little blew the save. Yeah, he's already blown 2 saves. I'm beginning to think that our bullpen might be a problem. Did you have Angel Hernandez behind home plate today? I'm beginning to think that our bullpen might be, at least our closing situation might be an issue. Waldrop, Hers, and Stone have all pitched well. And it's still super early, but those are some rough numbers in the early going. Although we do have the 5th best ERA in the National League. It just doesn't feel like it. Baz pitches today against Phillips, and it's a 7-6 win. He hasn't been great either, although I guess he pitched okay today. 1 run in 6 1/3. Again, the bullpen. The bullpen not getting it done. Bullpen gives up 6, just a wide strike zone. I mean, if the strike zone is wide, Bobby Dahlbeck took me deep. Now, that's telling you that you got an issue. Bobby Dahlbeck, I saw a stat this year, is 1 for 33 with 18 strikeouts or something ridiculous like that. As a Red Sox fan, I want Bobby to do well, but I think it might be time to move on from Mr. Dahlbeck. Hers gives up 5. Ugh. Yeah, our bullpen is not pitching well. Cisneros, another win. Thankfully, our starting pitching has been much better. Gutierrez, 2 hits. He homers and doubles. Yeah, Farr can't hit. This is the biggest difference between Farr and Wyatt Sanford, is that Sanford was at least able to hit. So losing him for the year is a bit of a struggle, but we're winning. We're winning. All right. Harrison pitches today. We win 5-4 and 10, so no decision for Harrison. We blow it again, top of the 9th. Christian Little blows his 3rd save. All right, so what do we do with our closer role, guys? We put Kyle Hurt in as the closer. He blew 3 saves. Christian Little, we've made the closer. He's blew 2 already. What's the option? Who do we go with? Do we give Jack Neely a chance? 75 curveball. The only drafted players that have made it have been Sawyer Farr and Wyatt Sanford. And now Christian Little's diagnosis pending. Wonderful. All right, so we're going to make Jack Neely the closer now. We'll move Little out. We'll put him in long relief because he's going to be hurt. How's Luzardo doing since he signed away? 4.2 WAR a year ago, 177 Ks, he was good last year. He's been good this year. Not an unreasonable contract for him at all. He's pitching today against Yamamoto. And I think I traded Eldridge, I think. Did we get the win? Did Yamamoto get the win? No, he gave up 4 and 5 in the 3rd. Bullpen does a nice job. Lewis and Cassius, both homer. Eldridge. I think we traded him, right? Yeah. Traded him to the White Sox. And he had 30 home runs last year. Well, you live, you learn, I guess. He was part of the Schultz trade, right? What was the date on that? 7/11/28. Yep. Noah Schultz, Emmett Sheehan, Jacob Gonzalez, Chirinos, and Colina for Eldridge, De La Rosa, and Harrison Bader. So, yeah, he could be our starting right fielder right now, which is something that we need. But, you know, you live, you learn, I guess. Raphael is not hitting. I don't want to mess with the lineup too much, given that we're 15-6. We are third in the league in runs scored, third in runs against. So we'll just kind of stick with the lineup the way it is until we're given a reason not to. Schultz pitches. Did he pitch well? I don't think he pitched much. He went an inning and third. Back spasms. Bullpen game. But it worked. Shawnuel hits his fourth home run. Jorge, couple hits. I don't like Jorge at second base. I really don't. It's just not good there, but we don't have another option at the moment. Baz today looking for his first victory of the year. He's not going to get it. And now Cisneros. We lose back-to-back games. Little's out for the year. All right. I think we're going to go Colton Hartman just so I can say we've got another drafted player on our team. So Colton Hartman will be long relief / specialist. We drafted him in the 5th round in 2026. High work ethic. He's got some power. He can hit righties. Okay. All right. So Colton Hartman. Be a pinch hitter. Can he play in the field at all? No. All right. So he's strictly going to be a pinch hitter. But that's fine. Bring up a two-way guy. I'll take that. We got San Diego now coming up. It'd be nice if we didn't suffer any more injuries. We were able to just play with our roster as it's set right now. There's a 3-1 win. 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th. Tristan Cassius with his 5th home run. Okay, so Neely is seemingly taking that closer role. He's pitched pretty well in a couple of outings. Yamamoto picks up his 3rd win. Tristan Cassius has been really good. Cassius and Shawnuel in the middle of the lineup. Rafaela's average was a little higher. He have a lot of RBI opportunities, but he doesn't. Cassius and Jones both homer. Yamamoto goes 6 2/3. And Hartman gets into the game. Strikes out 2 in his big league debut. You'll love to see that. All right, so we officially have 2 drafted players on our big league roster right now. Noah Schultz going against Dylan Lesko. The 5-2 win. Lewis 3 for 4, starting to pick that average up a bit. Burleson a couple of hits. Schultz gives us 7. Yeah, Noah Schultz probably the odd man out, just based on salaries next season. I don't know that I can pay my number 4 starter $10.5 million, $11 million. We'll see. Because, I mean, Jones will opt out, which will give us, if we can then clear up about another $10, $12 million, we can probably bring Nolan Jones back because his demand isn't unreasonable. I mean, I'm not paying him 6 years, but that's not an unreasonable dollar amount. Is this the Cubs? Yeah. Horton, Cade Horton, and Paddock. All right, Shane Baz picks up his first win as Baz, maybe another one because he's making $10 million. So I got 4 starting pitchers making double-digit dollar amounts. I don't know if that's sustainable given our finances. So Rafaela, he's struggling this year, but he really picked it up towards the end of last season. He was so good last year. Has he stolen any bases? 4. I want to look at. I want to look at development. That's something that I didn't do before the season started. So let's go here. Development. I don't care about your running. Let's focus on your defense for Adonis Guzman. O'Neal Perez. Avoid K. I don't need to focus on your avoid K. Let's focus on your defense. That's all I'm concerned about with catchers right now. Tristan Cassius. I'm not worried about his running. He is playing first base for us, but let's just dump it into power. Next should be Shanuel, right? Yep. I don't care about his defense. Let's drop the contact down a little. Let's see if we can, that power. See if we can generate some more power from Shanuel. Jorge, I need him focusing on his defense. Figueroa. I don't know. I'm assuming it's just pronounced Figaro, but we'll stick with the offensive ratings for him. Nolan Jones still working on his defense over there at third. I think we can back that off a little, and let's go to some power. Sawyer Farr focusing almost exclusively on his defense. Back that off a little. Let's bring his contact up. Royce Lewis, I don't want to mess with him. What he's been doing has been working. I guess we can back off his running a little and go into batting eye. Don't care about Burleson. Blyce focusing on his defense. That's fine. Gutierrez is focusing on the power. Let's back off on the running. Let's improve contact. Rafaela. Let's just do something like that. All right. It's April 20th. We're 20-8. We got Arturo Cisneros on the mound today against, I guess that's Logan Allen. We win 3-2. We lose Gavin Stone for a week. Figueroa. It's his fourth home run of the year. He's got 16 runs knocked in. Cisneros goes 7 shutout. Stone blows the save. Cade Horton against Kyle Harrison is another win. Harrison doesn't get the win, though. Look at the offense in those middle innings. We were down 6-3 and then a 6-run sixth. Shanuel 2 for 4, 4 RBIs. Cassius hits his 7th. Farr can't hit to save his life, but that's all right. Harrison gives up 6 earned runs in 4 2/3, and Neely seems to enjoy this closer role. He's been pretty good so far. And I'm going to jinx him, I'm sure, but doing pretty well so far. Yamamoto today is a 2-0 win, and we lose Jorge now for 5 to 6 weeks. Okay. Injured list. We're going to go Hinojosa, I guess. I mean, his range, his defense isn't really that much worse than Jorge. He's got a better error rating. The arm isn't quite as good, which doesn't matter at second base. So I guess he bats. We put him in at second base. I don't want him batting leadoff, though. What do we do here against righties? Burleson, 60 contacts, 70. No. The eye is just not good enough. All right, let's do this. Nolan Jones is going to bat leadoff for us against righties. The 60 eye. No, we're going to do this. Hinojosa. I've heard Hinojosa. I've never heard Hinojosa, but we can go with whatever. we're going to do this. We're going to bet Nolan Schanuel leadoff. Lewis second, Cassius third, Nolan Jones fourth, and then against lefties. What does ratings look like? They're exactly the same. Yeah, that's more of a middle of the lineup kind of thing. I mean, Gutierrez, I guess. But then I'm going lefty. Let's do that. Gutierrez, Schanuel, Lewis, Cassius, Rafaela, Jones, Hinojosa, Blyce, Perez. Eventually, these injuries are going to be too much to overcome. I mean, it's not been good so far, and they've been significant, right? I mean, Carlson's out for 2 months, Jorge's out for 5 to 6 weeks, Sanford's out for 3 months, Little's done for the year. So these have been substantial injuries. 24-8, though. I mean, can't complain, right? We win here 14-4. Schanuel 2 for 5, 3 RBIs. Perez, Cassius, and Hartman. Colton Hartman gets a pinch hit opportunity and he goes yard. You love to see that. He's only pitched that one game, but he's given us 0.1 WAR off with the on the mound and 0.2 with the bat. So that'll work. All right. We win again. Burleson 2 for 4. He's hitting over 300. So maybe that was the right selection. Maybe that was the right option. Schanuel's average at 300. Baz goes 5. Waldrop, Campbell, Neely. Miami now. Cisneros pitching. Another win. 3 hits for Sean. He's up hitting 315. Gutierrez 2 hits. Jones 2 hits. Josa 2 hits, including his first home run. Jones homers as well. Yeah, Farr is a black hole offensively, 2 for 25. Cisneros goes 6 1/3. All right. Harrison now picks up his 3rd victory of the season. Cassius with his 9th home run. Kyle goes 7 2/3. Yamamoto now. This is unbelievable. This has got to be what? We'll look in a second. I don't want to look as soon as I look at jinxes. So I think we're just going to keep playing until we lose, and then we'll go back and we'll look. So Cassius, Josa homers again. So he's 6 for 16 on the year with a couple of home runs. Rafael a couple hits. Burleson a couple of hits. Yamamoto goes 6. Off day. Cincinnati now. Noah Schultz. 5-4 win. We walk it off. 4 hits for Sedan and Rafaela, so he's starting to pick it up. And Josa with a triple. Drives in 2. Hartman with another pinch hit. I mean, he's literally been the perfect baseball player so far. He's pitched an inning and 2/3. He struck out 3, and he's 3 for 3 at the plate with a home run and 2 RBIs. He is literally the perfect player. I love it. All right, so we have Shane Baz going here April 30th, and we finally lose a game. How many in a row was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 in a row before the loss on the final game of the month. We are 29-9. Gavin Stone gets worse. We are not going to be paying him $4 million next year as his ratings are dropping. Nolan Jones' ratings are dropping as well. Rigdon, how's he doing in AAA? He's hitting 340. It might be time to call up Rigdon and send Farr back down. Farr with his 100 batting average. I think that's what we're going to do. Where is Rustin Rigdon? Right there. Hartman would be the perfect closer pinch hitter combo. That's right. Hit for himself, right? So far, so good. We get Rooston Rigdon in there every 5th game. And then we'll have him as the defensive replacement as well. Same thing against lefties. And we'll pause and we'll look at this team stats and stuff here, and then we'll move on. My hope is to get through the deadline. And that might be optimistic of me. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to go for tonight, but that's sort of the hope. Joey Berdan was one of our most recent draft picks. He got a nice bump. Not a particularly good defensive catcher. He might be trade bait. John Watson, 16th round pick. All right. Anything for us here? Yamamoto is the pitcher of the month in April. All right, so we're 29-9 at the end of April. We have the 3rd best offense and the best pitching staff. So things are looking good for us right now. Our high A ball, our double A ball, and our triple A ball team ball clubs are fantastic. Offensively, and it's early, so I don't want to dig too much into this, but Tristan Cassius was a fantastic pickup for us, an OPS close to 1,000. Nolan Jones, 22 RBIs, 133 OPS plus. BABIP's a little high. There's some high BABIPs here, so expect a little bit of regression. Shawnuel having a good year. Onel Perez, this came out of nowhere. I don't know how good he is defensively. I mean, the frame and the arm are both, I guess, league average. Is that what that means? And then Sarah's 3.64 ERA is fine. Figaro, 4 homers, 968 OPS. Josa. Yeah, I mean, Rafaela Gutierrez aren't playing well. Yeah, FJ, I changed the start date of the season. That's all you have to do. You go to I can't do it now because it's the season's already started. But if you look at the rookie ball teams, yeah, the season has already started. But you can change the start date. I just pushed the start date back a month. I think the game defaults to start rookie ball on May 4th. I just push it back to June 4th. And then they all get their playing time. So that's what I did with all of these, with all of the leagues in this one. Yeah, I mean, we're hitting well. You're welcome. Pitching well as well. Of course, Harrison and Yamamoto at the top of the list. And Kyle Hurt doesn't like the closer role. Since we moved him out of the closer role, he's been dynamic, so that's fine. We can leave him there. Cisneros having a really nice rookie campaign so far, 34 strikeouts, only 9 walks in 37 innings. Waldrop has been terrific. Baz and Schultz, those FIPs are a little alarming, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, Schultz is probably going. The problem is I don't really have a 5th starter to call up to replace him. I mean, I got players that I signed, like minor league free agents. Like I could call up Braxton Garrett, and he probably would be fine in that 5th starter role. So not that I want to shake the boat or anything, but let's just see. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. Oh, good. Cuevas got hurt. Just a fractured foot. He's hitting .459. Oh, only 37 at bats, but still, he won't be an A-ball very long. Yeah, we had Tyler Freeman a couple years ago for a cup of coffee. What if I retained this season? Gavin Stone could potentially be a starter, but since his ratings just dropped, I'm not all that comfortable because you move him into the starter role and the ratings are going to drop even more. McIlvain. How did this get worse? Oh, I got to skip. That's a lot of crap, man. Maybe when we get closer to the deadline, who knows? Michael Ciani. Oh. Defense not nearly as good as it has been in past games. Yeah, Gavin Stone could potentially be a starter, but his ratings just dropped. Like all of them. So you make him a starter, he's going to be that much worse. I think Kyle Hurt's probably the most obvious answer. Or maybe we go to Hartman. 55, 50, 40 with two really good pitches and one okay pitch could potentially be all right. But Dylan DeBrake is another one, 65, 50, 40. The stuff I think probably drops to a 55 or a 60 as a starter, but he's got 4 really good pitches. All right, let's get through May. 3 to 2 and 10. Gutierrez homers. Look at Hartman, baby, giving us 3 shutout. Love it. I love it when our drafted guys come up and the 45 stamina. Yeah, I mean it's passable with our bullpen as good as it is. That's a passable stamina, and with him being a ground ball guy with our defense, that could help too. But I don't trust him. I don't trust him. Another game. We got a game against New York. We're 31-9. And we beat up on old friend Logan Webb, who's 2-6 on the year. Harrison improves to 4-0. Hartman goes another 2/3 scoreless. Get a home run from Royce Lewis. Gutierrez, Perez, 3 for 5, 2 RBIs. Burleson. Look at Figueroa. 0 for 1 with 4 walks and 3 runs scored. That is a batting line for sure. That is batting line. Yamamoto today, 2-1 win. How's Matos doing? This trade, this one stung. Look at the year that Luis Matos had last year. 22 homers, 74 runs knocked in, stole 22 bases, 5.5 WAR. He's making $18 million now. 18, 22, 22, 22. I never would have been able to pay him that. So we turned Matos into Figueroa and Braylon Morrell. How's he doing? Maybe he should have been the guy that we caught. Yep. Did you see those batting ratings against lefties? I don't know why I didn't see this before. He's a better fielder than Alec Burleson, and look at those hitting ratings against lefties. That is insane. What do we have? Who do we have playing left field against lefties? We got Rafaela, Gutierrez, and Blyce. Burleson is better against righties. I think we stick with what we have for now, but we've got that bat on the bench in AAA that we can go with if we suffer another injury or we need some right-handed power to sort of mix up the lineup a little bit. I mean, Hinojosa's given us some pops, so I think we're okay for now. There's another win, 8-4. Shawnuel, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Cassius with his 10th. Hinojosa hits his 3rd. Schultz goes 6, gets the victory. Baz picks up his 2nd win, and we just keep on winning. Burleson with 2 runs knocked in. Hinojosa homers again. Baz 6 1/3. We just can't lose right now. And as soon as I didn't want to say that because watch what happens when I click autoplay until tomorrow. No, never mind. We won again. We won 5-3. Thought for sure that was going to be a loss. Looks like a grand slam for Figaro. It was. Cisneros goes 8. Neely was the right move. Once I put Neely in the closer's role, things turned around for us. It was that simple move, really. I didn't do anything else with the offense. We get Jorge back in 3 weeks. I don't know what I'm going to do once we get Jorge back. I can't take I can't take out of the lineup right now. All right, who's pitching today? Harrison. And we lose with Kyle Harrison on the mound. That is appropriate. And then we lose again with Yamamoto on the mound. Bounce back there with a 7-0 win. Perez, Blyce, Gutierrez, all with a couple RBIs. Schultz gives us 7 shutout. Final game against Pittsburgh. This is insane. Let's see how it plays out over the course of the year, though, and see what happens in the postseason. But so Cassius with his 11th, Shawnuel 3 hits, Baz strikes out 12 and 6 1/3. Cisneros, so we got an off day today. All right, Las Vegas, the expansion team, beats us 7-6. We beat them 4-3. Harrison's 5-1. Neely is 13th save. Nolan Jones is 7th home run. Yamamoto now. Wow, another loss with Yamamoto on the mound. Okay. Colorado, we lost 2 out of 3 to a team that was swinging .333 on the season. Another loss. All right, so starting to come back to earth here a little bit, right? That's 3 losses in our last 4 games. We are 3-5 in our last 8. We lose Shane Baz for 3 weeks. Not ideal. Josa hits his 5th. All right, so Baz is injured now. I think we go to AAA and let's give... tell me the pitcher I was looking at is now hurt. Is that really what's happening? No. Yeah, Braxton Garrett. Oh, he's suspended. Where did he go? Is he just not showing up because he's suspended? Oh, he's right there. Let's throw the veteran Braxton Garrett into the rotation for a couple of weeks. We'll see how he does. I don't want to mess up the bullpen. They've settled down, so I don't want to screw with what's working right now. Colorado again. 4-3 win. We're 40-14. Shawnuel 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Rafaela 3 hits. Cisneros strikes out 11. Keep on keeping on at Philadelphia. Another win. Kyle Harrison only goes 4 1/3. Throws 100 pitches to break. Comes in. He'll get the win. Josa hits another home run, drives in 4. Rafaela's got his average up to 260 now. Gutierrez up to 244. If Gutierrez is league average with the bat, he's a valuable player because of his defense. But Lewis down to UC Toronto. And the Maple Leafs fans, man, they are a unique bunch. I don't know how else to put it. Another Yamamoto hasn't won in like 3 weeks. Yeah. 0-2 in his last 3 starts. Noah Schultz today, 10-3 win. They're a unique bunch. It's Leafs fans against the world. That's the way they are, and more power to them, I guess. Burleson Raffaella and Rustin Rigdon hits his first home run of his big league career. Nolan Jones with 3 hits. Where are we in terms of, not that I pay attention to my owner goals at all, but I want to see WAR. Oh, it's not on here anymore. Usually it's, up until recently I had the bring more drafted players to the big league team, and now I don't have that this year. Braxton Garrett will make his debut here for San Francisco against Arizona. As the indie ball seasons get started, and Garrett gives us 6 1/3 innings of 1-run ball, because of course he does. Miguel Bleis with a 3-run homer. I just want to quickly take a look. I always like looking at this. This is me self-promoting, not in the Atlantic League, but American Association. And this is the team that I will be calling games for starting on the 10th. Season kicks off on May 10th. We got a 100-game season. And yeah, the Chicago Dogs. These are my guys. They got IKF as their leading hitter. Let's go. Love it. Anyway, I'm all done with self-promotion. I just thought I would show you guys. All right, no, we're not playing the Red Sox. That's what I do. That's what I'm playing offline. You got a player that a year with 256 average, 741 OPS, 84 homers, 27 RBIs. Guess his WAR and his. Well, it's hard to know without his defense. Was he a good defensive player or no? Because you could be asking me a loaded question. I mean, if he's elite in the outfield, then I could see, 3 WAR, 3.5 WAR, somewhere in there. You tell me. Arturo Cisneros pitching today. And it's another win. Average at his position. What position? Because if he's a first baseman, it's probably negative WAR. But if he's a second baseman, all right, so we went 3-2. I got completely distracted. I was watching my stream on the TV in front of me and got completely distracted. Figueroa hits pinch hit home run. That's the hidden part of the question. Okay, I'm gonna say average at his position with those numbers. I'm gonna say he's a 2.5 WAR player. That's my guess. Hers with the win. Neely picks up the save. We keep winning. Arizona again. Harrison on the mound today. 13-3. The offense has been just good enough. I think we were 5th in the National League in runs last I saw. Shonwell and Lewis each score 3 runs. Lewis is averaged down to 227. Of course it is. Right after we sign him to a huge contract. 1 WAR, 99. Yeah, that's why I said if he was a first baseman, it probably wasn't pretty good. Probably wasn't good. Joseph drives in 3. Figueroa. It's a homer. Gutierrez homers twice. Yeah, it said that he was going to be Mayo's right hand, whatever that means. So we lose with Yamamoto on the mound again. We bounce back with an 11-5 win. Yamamoto hasn't won in like 3 weeks. 6 RBIs for Royce Lewis. So just as I talk about his demise, he breaks through for us here. Hartman goes 0 for 1. Schultz picks up the win. Royce homers twice. Braxton Garrett making his second start for us. Does not perform well that time. Cisneros against Austin. It's a 3-1 loss. Game 2. 6-4 win. Jorge is eligible to come off the DL. And now we have a decision to make. Royce Lewis 2 for 4, 3 RBIs. Bleis has a couple runs knocked in. Harrison goes 8. What do we do with our lineup? Because I can't, in good conscience, remove Joseph from the everyday lineup with his 983 OPS. How's he doing defensively? Not good, but I mean, Jorge's not good either. So maybe Jorge just goes on a rehab assignment. Man, the sun is right in my face. I gotta go turn down that. I gotta go block my shades here in a minute. I mean, he can play all over the diamond, so there's some positional flexibility there, but he's not particularly good at any of them. So I think it is rehab assignment for Carlos Jorge. Yamamoto today, and there's a win for Yamamoto. 4 hits for Shawnuel, Blyce with a couple hits, Cassius 2 hits, Rigdon up to 333. He's hitting, he's getting on base, 11 for 33. Yamamoto goes 6 1/3. How bright am I? Yeah, it looks like I'm being highlighted. It's pretty funny. Let me look at OBS. Yeah, I'm being highlighted by the sun. All right, I'm gonna go close my curtain. I'm gonna sim May 31st against Hunter Green in Milwaukee. It's an 11-2 win. And the offense cruising. Perez, Gutierrez, Figueroa, Hinojosa, all multi-hit games. Home runs from Burleson, Lewis, Jones, Figueroa, and Perez. Schultz goes 5 2/3. And we will take a look at player development here in a second. I'm going to go shut the blinds. I'll be right back. Ignore my pajama pants. This is what I wear all the time. I drop my headphones. The benefits of working from home is that I get to work in my PJs, and that is what I'm wearing. So I'll be right back. Ugh. All right, I'm back. Figueroa has been killing it. He might make the All-Star team. Yeah, we can take a look at the voting in a second. So Hertz ratings drop a little bit, but he's been fine. Harrison got better. I don't know how it's possible, but Cisneros' control dropped a little bit, but he's been terrific. Braylon Morel, yeah, his ratings just dropped. That kind of sucks, but still really, really valuable against lefties. He's a passable corner outfielder as well. Maldonado gets better. Wow, he's been so good. He's in Double-A. I kind of want to leave him in Double-A until he has another overall bump. I don't want to stick these ratings in AAA if I can help it. Phil Furness is another one. Don't like seeing Burgess drop, but he's been fine in Double-A. He's young enough to stay there. Aaron Bede continues to get better. That's nice. Noah Sheffield. He's starting to come around. He was in our first draft. Trinidad. International guy, Mike Bone. Drafted him in 2028. He's doing really well in A-ball. Let's go ahead and call him up to high A. That I don't like. That I don't like at all. Cuevas, he continues to get better. Looks like the contact dropped a little. Is that what we saw there? No. It's time to call him up to Double-A. Doesn't have anything left to prove in high A-ball. Yeah, Kenki O'Brien, I don't like seeing those ratings drop, but they haven't started their season yet. They start in a couple of days, right? Bob McGuire. Dave Dobbs. Why is he only a 40 overall? don't know why he's only a 40 overall. What do we got here? Whoa! Let's go ahead and bump you up. Who, FJ? We talking about Dobbs? Yeah, I mean, literally 5+ pitches. Let's see how he does. yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. 75 blocking and framing. We'll put him in high A. We'll put him in I'll probably stick him in A ball. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want him to hit, 040 or something. A lot of catchers. We'll stick him in high A ball. Man, we got some good catching talent in our minor leagues. Jamie Hudson, that made you salivate. I think that means where's that catcher that I was talking about earlier? Joey Burdan. We can not that. Let's just take a look. Let's see if we can do a prospect swap. Nope. Silly game. Let's do this. It's because we have no money, so we aren't going to be able to sign anybody. We're not going to be able to trade for anybody because we don't have any money to trade for anybody with. So, all right. Well, we're at June 1st. We're 49-18. We went 29-9 between March and April. We went 20-9 in May. One of those catchers. Yeah, that's the problem is which one. Like, I sit there and I look at it and I go, I don't really want to trade any of them, honestly. Like, this guy has the potential to be like one of the best catchers in baseball. The defense isn't quite as good as what we were getting out of Parker, but when you combine it with his offense, like, he could be one of the best catchers in the league. We got Eichstadt. Hudson's the offensive-minded one. Okay, we got to submit today. Fine. 10-5 win. We've won 50 games before we've lost 20. That's a pretty good season for us. Braxton Garrett gave up 5, but Waldrop came in, pitched 3 1/3 shutout. Oh, can I not trade Eichstadt? Oh, I drafted him this year. Okay. Well, we'll take a look at that once we get into July. Lose 8-3. Baz is eligible to come off the DL. So I think that'll be it for Braxton Garrett. He's going to go on waivers. That's fine. We're going to have to figure out what to do with Jorge here in a minute. Figaro's been unbelievable. I'm glad we made the decision to keep him up. All right, Harrison on the mound today. We lose back-to-back games. We lose back-to-back-to-back games. 3 straight losses for your Giants. Huh. Make it 4 as we get swept. We lose Braxton Garrett to Cleveland or to Toronto. That's our first 4-game losing streak this year. See if we can bounce back with Shane Baz on the mound against the Cubs. We do. 6-1 victory. Burleson has 3 hits. Josa drives in a couple. Shawnuel drives in a couple. Baz gives us 6. Cisneros. We win 6-5. His ERA is up over 4, but that's okay. Josa and Guzman both homer. I mean, even Guzman has been fine as our backup catcher, giving us an 829 OPS, 121 OPS plus. He's a captain. And our catching situation is actually in really good shape. I was all concerned about losing Contreras last year, but our catching situation is actually in really, really good shape. All right, so they got Cade Horton on the mound. We got Kyle Harrison. It's a 3-2 win. Giannis. Yeah, he was an international guy we signed. I remember him. All right, 3-2. Rafaela hits his fourth. Harrison's 8-2. How are we financially? We got fans coming out, but we have no money. How is Kate? Not great. Spell. He's with the El Paso Chihuahuas of the Pacific Coast League, where he's hitting 282 this year. I mean, we gave him a shot in 2028. We gave him 70 at-bats. He had 8 hits. So, I mean, I wish he had done better, but just didn't have it this year. Just wasn't the same player as he was in our Cubs save, unfortunately. Yamamoto today, 11-8 win. Gutierrez gets suspended for 4 games. Cassius 3 hits, 2 RBIs. Cassius, Shawnuel, Burleson, Jones, all homer, and Alec Burleson. I mean, thought about sending him down, but he's hitting 323. I mean, is this the best season he's had in his career? Yeah, I mean, it's early, but Neely blows the save here, but we pick up the win anyway. Okay, I forgot about this. All right, so I got to go in here and I got to turn on ghost players. I don't have enough players in my on my DSL teams to start a season. Anybody in the international complex we can call up? I mean, as filler, yeah, like I don't care about some of these 19-year-olds. Like they can just come up. He got into 90 games in 2023 with the Giants. My guess is just that his batting ratings dropped because of the 580 OPS. And it's a possibility. But you know, we had Nolan Jones. There was no reason to give him any playing time over Nolan Jones unless Jones was hurt. I don't want to really. Do I want to send any of these other guys? I mean, Castillo can go up, I guess. Some of these guys are just placeholders. Like, who cares about some of these guys? But if I can fill out my roster and not have to use ghost players, I'll do that. Barra can go up. That's fine. Go up. And just kind of leave it there. All right. But it's one of the things I love about Out of the Park baseball, right? Like, he was somebody that we picked up with the Cubs in my 24 save, and he was just amazing, right? He was just absolutely amazing. Let's see something. Arizona. Okay, so I got Harrington batting 5th, and he is in the rotation, right? He is. Okay, cool. Just making sure. All right. Schultz pitching today. He loses. Dylan Carlson is eligible to come off the DL. Again, like, I guess we just go rehab assignments. I mean, Alec Burleson's been so good. He's been terrible defensively. No, he's been terrible defensively. Carlson's 2 for 9. I only played 3 games. I think we just stick with what's working for us for now. Is it really working for us, though? We're 5-5 in June. All right, let's just sim a couple of days, see what happens. We lose 7-6. We lose 3-2. Win 3-2. All right, so we are like 6-8 or something this month. Look at Hartman with another home run. Look at this. He's given us almost a WAR, and he's only pitched in 20 innings, and he's only come to bat 8 times. Holden Hartman getting it done. You love to see that. I see. The thing is, I'm gonna try to send Burleson down, and he's gonna get claimed. And it is what it is, I guess. But Hartman, I hope so. Burleson, I guess we just DFA him. I mean, he's going to get claimed, but it's fine. Let's go to Carlson. Let's call him back up. Carlson in there, and then Carlson will come in here, and he's also going to bat leadoff. That was what we were talking about doing initially. He'll play left. Raffaella will play center. Gutierrez will play right with that arm. I mean, Blyce has been really good, too. I mean, I hate to take him out of the lineup, but as our 4th outfielder, we could do a heck of a lot worse. Blyce every 5th game. Blyce every 6th game, like that. Tenth. 9th. At least gets him in 3 games every couple weeks, roughly. All right. Yuri Perez against Yamamoto. We win 8-0. That Carlson back in the lineup goes 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, his first home run of the season. Royce Lewis 3 hits. Yamamoto goes the distance. Personal message. All right, look at that in a sec. 6-4 victory. Figueroa's got 10 home runs on the season. Perez still hitting close to 290. Schultz gets the win. Neely gets the save. Who did I see at 25 hits? That had to have been. Oh, it's Machado. Well, he's not going to hit 300. He's not going to hit 3,000, that's for sure. He was worth almost -2 WAR for San Diego last season. You got to be happy with us here. Yep. Yep, we got to sign all these guys. Or do we have to sign them all? Oh, the game's going to crash. Yep, the game's going to crash, and it's going to send us back to June 1st. You stupid. All right. Better be June 1st. It sends us back to April 1st. I'm quitting. Yep, it sent us back to the beginning of the season. Send us back to the beginning of the season. I'm done. I'm done for the day. Yeah. All right. First things first, let's go in here and... Son of a bitch. Well, that sucks. I appreciate you guys joining me today. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to call it here. And I'm going to sim up to July 1st offline. And yeah, that sucks. I am really, really angry right now. Where am I going for, where am I going? Yeah, it's a test run. Yeah, but when you're 55 and 25 or whatever the hell it was, like, that's frustrating. That is super frustrating. So I think what I'll do is I will sim up to Hartman Legacy has been erased. Yeah, it certainly has. I'm going to sim up to the beginning of July, I guess. And anybody who watches this live stream will be thoroughly confused if they watch the other video first. But all right, well, that sucks. I'm gonna end the stream, guys. Anyway, yeah. That's a possibility. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you hanging out tonight. Sorry this went sideways right at the very end. That kind of sucks, but that's where we are. So, everybody have a great rest of the night.